This test measures your to part of a conversation between a student and a librarian.
Hi, I really hope you can help me.
That's why I'm here. What can I do for you?
I'm supposed to do a literature review for my psychology course, but I'm having a hard time finding articles. I don't even know where to start looking.
You said this is for your psychology course, right? So your focus is on...
Dream interpretation.
Well, you have a focus, so that's already a good start. Well, there are a few things... Oh, wait. Have you checked to see if your professor put any materials for you to look at on reserve?
That's one thing I did know to do. I just copied an article, but I still need 3 more on my topic from 3 different journals.
Let's get you going on looking for those then. We have printed versions of 20 or so psychology journals in the reference section. These are ones published within the last year. Now that I think about it, there's a journal named Sleep and Dreams.
Oh, yeah. The article I just copied is from that journal, so I've got to look in other sources.
Okay. Actually, most of our material is available electronically now. You can access psychology databases or electronic journals and articles through the library's computers. And if you wanted to search by title with the word dream, for example, just type it in and all the articles with dream in the title will come up on the screen.
Cool. That's great. Too bad I can't do this from home.
But you can. All of the library's databases and electronic sources can be accessed through any computer connected to the university network.
Really? I can't believe I didn't know that. It still sounds like it's going to take a while, though, going through all of that information, all of those sources.
Maybe, but you already narrowed your search down to articles on dream interpretation, so it shouldn't be too bad. And you probably noticed that there's an abstract or summary at the top of the first page of the article you copied. When you go into the databases and electronic sources, you have the option to display the abstracts on the computer screen. Skimming those to decide whether or not you want to read the whole article should cut down some time.
Right, abstracts. They will definitely make the project more doable. I guess I should try out the electronic search while I'm still here then, just in case.
Sure. That computer's free over there, and I'll be here till 5 this afternoon.
Thanks. I feel a lot better about this assignment now.
Why does the student go to see the librarian? What does the librarian say about the availability of journals and articles in the library? What does the librarian suggest the student should do to save time? What can be inferred about why the woman decides to use the computer in the library? Listen again to part of the conversation, then answer the question.
All of the library's databases and electronic sources can be accessed through any computer connected to the university network.
Really? I can't believe I didn't know that.
Why does the woman say this?
I can't believe I didn't know that.
Part of a lecture in a contemporary art class.
Okay, I'm going to begin this lecture by giving you your next assignment. Remember I said that at some point during this semester I wanted you to attend an exhibit at the Ferry Street Gallery and then write about it? Well, the exhibit that I want you to attend is coming up. It's already started, in fact, but it'll be at the gallery for the next month, which should give you plenty of time to complete this assignment. The name of the artist exhibiting there is Rose Franson. Franson's work may be unfamiliar to you since she's a relatively young artist, but she's got a very unusual style compared to some of the artists we've looked at this term. But anyway, Franson's style is what she herself calls realistic impressionism. So you've probably studied both of these movements separately, separate movements, realism and impressionism, in some of your art history courses. So who can just sum these up?
Well, Impressionism started in the late 19th century. The basic Impressionist style was very different from earlier styles. It didn't depict scenes or models exactly as they looked. Impressionist painters tended to apply paint really thickly and in big brush strokes, so the texture of the canvas was rough.
Good. What else? What were the subjects?
Well, a lot of Impressionist artists painted everyday scenes, like people on the streets and cafes, lots of nature scenes, especially landscapes.
Good. So when you go to the exhibit, I really want you to take a close look at a certain painting. It's a farm scene, and you'll see it right as you enter the gallery. The reason I think this painting is so important is that it stresses the impressionist aspect of Franson's style. It's an outdoor scene, an everyday scene. It's kind of bleak, but you can really see those broad brushstrokes and the blurry lines. The colors aren't quite realistic. The sky is kind of, well, an unnatural pinkish yellow, and the fence in the foreground is blue, but somehow the overall scene gives an impression of a cold, bleak winter day on a farm. So that's the impressionist side of her work. Oh, and speaking about farms, that reminds me, one interesting thing I read about Franson is that when she first moved back to Iowa after living abroad, she often visited this place in her town called the Sales Barn. And the Sales Barn, it was basically this place where the local farmers bought and sold their cattle, their farm animals. And the reason Franson went there, and she later on would visit other places like dance halls, was to observe people and the ways that they moved. She really found that this helped her work, that it gave her an understanding of body movements and actions, how humans move, and stand still, what their postures were like too. So, what about realism? What are the elements of realism we should be looking for in Franson's work?
Real, honest depictions of subject matter, pretty unidealized stuff, and pretty everyday subject matter too.
Good. One other painting I really want you to look at is of a young woman surrounded by pumpkins. You'll notice that the woman's face is so realistic looking that it's almost like a photograph. The woman's nose is a little less than perfect, and her hair is kind of messed up. This is realism. But then the background of the painting, this woman with the pumpkins is wrapped in a blanket of broad, thick brushstrokes, and it's all kinds of zigzagging brushstrokes and lines, kind of chaotic almost when you look at it close. And there are vibrant colors. There's lots of orange with little hints of an electric blue peeking out. I find Franson to be a very accessible artist. I mean, some artists, to appreciate them, you have to know their